Mr. Political, it's always a pleasure to have you back. I have a question for you. You know, it seems like in recent years, and more so than recent years, recent decades, that we have more and more black women saying that they don't need a man. And they say this over and over. And it's amplified by the social media because people can hide, say what they want to say, and retreat to poke at you and your ideology. Now, we had Kevin Samuels, the late Kevin Samuels, pass away, but a lot of what he said is true. Many may disagree, but a lot of what he said is true. But now he has planted so much seeds that there are many people, brothers, who are getting wise that they have options and they need to hold on to their wallets. So when a lot of these young ladies tell a man that they don't need a man, they don't understand the timeline that they have to get a man. So when they hit a certain age, they start to realize that loneliness and buying cat food at the supermarket every week is not the best thing in the world. So please tell me, especially with the feminist mind, who say they don't need a man and they can be independent, what it will be like after 40 and how many of them will die alone. I want to hear it from you, my brother. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Lance. You caught me on my way to the courthouse to do some paperwork on a sad occasion of a young man parting from a relationship. But that gives me an opening to address the statements that you made. I'd like to make a correction. It is not that she does not need a man. It's just that she don't need a black man. That the black man does not meet her criteria all the way up to 40. That the vast majority of these women, unfortunately, and I must use a buzz sentence, will die alone. Will die alone. That's talking pretty funeral, white casket, a bunch of mourners, which are your children by multiple fathers, and no income to pay for the funeral. It was brought to my attention in the last show that a young lady took despondency to my comments, that she felt that I was a fool. Only a person who is unwilling to go into conversation is the fool. Only a person who would hide behind a Facebook page and when offered the opportunity to voice their voice, as women have asked their voice to be asked and heard, they decline with ignorant rhetoric based upon the lack of use of their uterus and the desire by the vast majority of men not to cohabitate with that beast. That beast that I speak about, because I cannot use its name, it that will die alone, it which is over 40, which will die alone, it which who has spent 40 years undesired other than someone wanted to cash in on their asset. This asset, which was used to justify their existence all the way to 40, is no longer necessary. That your beauty will fade, your firmness and your sexual prowess will become innate, that you will fall by the wayside, which in Ebonics terms mean that you will die alone, that your idea of feminism, your idea of a proper relationship is caught up in your feelings of mistakes that you made that you did not want to be accountable for. It's caught up in your feelings in shame for all the negative lies and manipulations that you had participated in and sanctioned This is a worthy reward for your efforts. As you, the beast I speak to, who will not come on mic and voice his opinion like most beasts, because see, you got women, you got pronouns, and then you got beasts. The women, they're just playing the game. The pronoun want to get in the game. The beast is fucking up the game. All those so-called good women who support this beast, be fully aware I am not your enemy because I exercise my right under the First Amendment to my opinion on a multimedia stand, which allows me to air my opinion. The same multimedia stage which allows you, as the beast who will die alone, to come on this show. And let's have a civil conversation like I have promised throughout my years with Mr. Lance. And no, I don't need to put on a condom with him because he is my kinfolk, and I would be proud for him to be part of my lineage. Yeah, that's Mr. Political that's talking that noise. Now, the beast, once again, I offer an olive branch. Once again to the beast, I say to you, this would make stimulating conversation if you truly believe what you say and what you hide behind in your false Facebook page. You are quick with a text, but you're ignorant with your thoughts. You're quick with a text, but you lack some level of respect for oneself when you are called in on the carpet. So I'm going to get my carpet cleaner ready for when you show up, which I doubt very seriously that you would do, because you don't believe what you say, but I do. Now, the women in a previous video, which I sent Lance, who really believed that she had right to 18 friends to a birthday without an engagement ring. That's what I said. You, as a girlfriend, you're entitled to nothing. You don't deserve nothing. The day is over. And the sooner you come to the realization in your pursuit of your freedom that you have to be treated equal, that means that there is no more date, that when you choose to get involved with someone, make sure you bring your credit card with you. No, it is not his responsibility, and I would not advise any man to date any woman with children. Okay? It was a time in our lives as American men that we were proud to take over others' responsibilities when they fell short, because the children was used as the dangling tool to manipulate you into that ideology. The black man's desire and love for a child is the reasoning why we bought food for the other children. Why we take you out on your birthday, because we were glorified with your existence. But now you have turned into a beast. And now we live the fairy tale of Beauty and the Beast. The only thing is that Beauty is not a pronoun, it's an alpha male. And just like Beauty and the Beast, we have a choice. Do we continue kissing on this beast and hope it turns into a queen? Or do we do the proper thing like the Beauty do and walk away? Walking away is not walking away from the children. Contrary to their lie, you're walking away from her. The children has nothing to do with you walking away, other than the children need you to have a full, successful life while they're waddling in the mud with the two-legged wonder. This two-legged wonder cares nothing about her children, but primarily about herself, her Gucci bag, her weed, her good times, her drunkenness, and her slothful behavior when it comes down to working. It was brought to my attention that for 90 years, that the Black American woman had been head of her household. 90 years later, you see the efforts of her work without a man in the household. You see her labor. Yes, her labor. What duties she claimed. Now, I'm going to take the simp role, the less than a man role, and say that this is not all women. But I can truthfully say from the simp role, which I gravitate to, that it is best when you're begging for poon-nanny and you're looking for poon-nanny that you say not all women so you can stay in the game. That's what not all women mean. Not that he believes that all women do it or he believes that all women do it, but he says this in a code to you. I still want the poon-nanny. So whatever you say is true. That's why if you listen to any conversation when it comes down to brothers in the media or psychiatrists or even Mr. Sanders, my brother, they will always take the middle ground because they still chasing the poon-nanny. So when brothers say not all women, that's Ebonic for I still want the poon-nanny. So I'm just going to lie to you so I can continue getting the poon-nanny. So during this conversation, I'm not going to say all women, which you know I'm lying. So I'm going to use that term to pacify the female who is not awoke to the problem of today. This young lady and her 18 friends, just not all women, just some women, came there with manipulation, thievery, and lying. Not one of those 17 women was going to spread up and give him some poon-nanny. Not one of those 17 women even wanted to consciously know him other than his credit card. Not one of those 17 women really gave a damn whether or not she would be in a relationship with that man after this night. Because inherently, those 17 women hate each other. They competed with each other over clothing and weight problems and breast implants and bad weaves and rhinoplasty. None of that is for the man. All of that is to prove to other women that they better than the woman which they scorn. This is true. A lot of women are not going to admit it. Women hate each other because they're all competing for a limited amount of men. And now that this day has came, which is longly waited for, the numbers become very, 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 very thin. And as they become more thinner, you will see more actions by other women. When a woman get upset because another woman has her man, she's not upset because her love of her life is lost. She's upset because her income, her sucker, all her work of manipulation is gone to another woman who had a better game, a better body, a better nose job, a better breast job, a better butt implant lift. Okay? And if I got to get vulgar, she then took her little stimulus check and went to Europe and bought her a brand new uterus. Yes, it is possible. If you can believe that an LBG person can get pregnant, you can believe that a black woman will spend her hard-earned money she needs to feed her children on a brand new punani. I can go all day with this. Lance will let me go all day, but I must call this a closing because it hurts me as much as it hurts your ears to hear this biblical truth. Yeah, that's what I said, biblical truth. That the vast majority of baby boomers who are reaching 40 and is over 40, because of their games of trickster and manipulation and basing their relationship on monetary gain, will die alone. And yes, Kevin Sanders had said it best, but I'm just echoing the noise in the dark. You will die alone. And the reason you will die alone, just as the dinosaur died, you did not want to change to your new environment. You did not want to adapt to this time and place which you no longer have privilege to any longer. All right? And keep in mind, if you feel as the feminists feel and you want to go on a punani strike, because I done heard about the punani strike. If you don't get your way, you ain't gonna give no man no punani until he agree with you. You want men to agree to a fact that they have no voice in and no opinion to, and you don't want to take it to the government. You want to take it to the man. The simple man at the bottom of the pole, you want to try to pressure him to go pressure other men to give you your way. Well, got bad news for you. The borders is open. They coming in every shade and they speaking in tongues. And they don't mind taking their traditional role based upon the country that they come from, which was our behavioral pattern before the feminists took over. You're going to watch these women take your men in droves. You're going to watch your children that should come from your loins be raised by a better caliber of women who are not programmed to be destructive to their families. This may be harsh words. Individuals may come up with analogies on why this brother is saying these things. But unbeknownst to the ignorance, the truth is going to be said by me or anyone else who has the ability to interpret, see, and understand the truth. And in that, I am going to close. I am going to close with regret that that beast who made that comment was a coward, just as the cowards in New Mexico, but another gender who is not bold enough, does not believe what they say, was bred to be a parakeet, was afraid to come and voice their opinion. Now, if the beast do decide to come and voice its opinion, it will be welcomed warmly. It will be treated with the respect that it brings, and it will be viewed upon as information and not truth. This is your boy, Mr. Political, and with deep regret that the beast exists, and I'm out.